Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Before going to the video, those who are not subscribed our channel, subscribe it and also click the bell button. In this video, we are going to see about waveguides and rectangular waveguides. Waveguides are hollow metallic structures for transmitting electromagnetic waves by successive reflections inside their walls. By restricting the transmission of energy to one direction, they transmit electromagnetic waves with minimal loss of energy. They are generally used to transmit high frequency waves such as microwaves, radio waves, infrared waves, etc. For low frequency waves, that is less than 1 MHz, parallel transmission lines or coaxial cables are used. These waveguides act like high-pass filters with certain cutoff frequency. Signals having frequencies above this cutoff frequency are allowed to propagate through the waveguide, and the signals having frequencies below this frequency will face a very high reflection. Waveguides have only one conductor for transmission because return conductor is not required as the body of the waveguide acts as earth. The waveguides support transverse electric and transverse magnetic modes but not transverse electromagnetic modes. Propagation of waves through a waveguide is according to field theory. Waves get dispersed inside a waveguide, and this dispersion characteristics can be altered by loading the waveguide with metal or dielectric medium. In a microwave circuit, a dead-ended waveguide serving as resonant element is called cavity resonator. A cavity resonator with an open end functions as unidirectional antenna for sending or receiving radio frequency energy. Next is directional coupler. Directional coupler is a 4-port waveguide junction device that samples a small amount of electromagnetic wave power for measurement purpose. The power measured are incident power, reflected power, voltage standing wave ratio, etc. This directional coupler consists of a primary main waveguide and a secondary auxiliary waveguide. The power flow in a directional coupler is shown in the figure. This directional coupler is a passive reciprocal 4-port coupler in which the power incident on one port is split between two other ports, the receiver port and coupled port, and little or no power emerges from the fourth port, that is the isolated port, that is the third port. This power is called back power. Next is the parameters of directional coupler. First is the coupling factor. See, it is given by 10 log 10 PI by PF decibels. PI is the incident power, PF is the coupled forward power. Second parameter is the directivity D. It is given by D is equal to 10 log 10 PF by PB. PF is the forward coupled power, PB is the back power in decibels. Next is isolation. I is equal to 10 log 10 PI by PB decibels. PI is the incident power, PB is the back power. This isolation in decibels is equal to the coupling factor plus directivity. Next is insertion loss. This insertion loss IL is equal to 10 log 10 PI by PR decibels. PI is the incident power, PR is the received power in port 2. Next is the scattering matrix or S matrix of a directional coupler. It is given by S is equal to 0, S12, 0, S14, S21, 0, S23, 0, 0, S32, 0, S34, S41, 0, S43, 0. Here if you see the principal diagonal elements of the S matrix, that is S11, S22, S33 and S44 are 0 because all the 4 ports are completely matched in a directional coupler. And also there is no coupling between the ports 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 in the directional coupler. Hence the elements S13, S31, S24 and S42 are also 0. Next is the applications of directional coupler. These directional couplers are used to monitor and measure frequency and also power for measuring the voltage standing wave ratio. It is used for signal sampling, signal leveling and also signal injection. Is done using this directional coupler. Next is the types of waveguide. There are 5 types of waveguides, namely rectangular waveguide, circular waveguide, elliptical waveguide, single ridged waveguide and double ridged waveguide. In this video we are going to see in detail about only rectangular waveguide. The figure shows a rectangular waveguide with dimensions A and B. The arrow indicates the direction of wave propagation. Rectangular waveguide is a hollow metallic tube with rectangular cross-section. The conducting walls of this waveguide confine the electromagnetic fields and thereby they guide the electromagnetic waves. This rectangular waveguide supports TM and TE modes, that is transverse magnetic and transverse electric modes, but they do not support TEM mode, that is transverse electromagnetic mode, because we cannot define a unique voltage since there is only one conductor in this rectangular waveguide. The conductor in the rectangular waveguide is filled with material having permittivity epsilon and permeability mu. If a plane wave having wavelength lambda is incident on a waveguide, results into 2 components. First is the standing wave in the direction normal to the reflecting walls of the guide, and the wavelength of this wave is given by lambda n is equal to lambda by cos theta. Theta is the angle of incidence. And the second one is the travelling wave in the direction parallel to the reflecting walls of the guide, and the wavelength of this wave is given by lambda p is equal to lambda by sin theta. Theta is the angle of incidence. In lossless waveguides, the modes are classified as transverse electric mode TE mode and transverse magnetic mode TM mode. In rectangular waveguides, the modes design are TEMN or TMMN. Here M denotes the number of half cycle variations or half waves of the electric and magnetic fields in the x direction, and N denotes the number of half cycle variations or half waves of the electric and magnetic fields in the y direction if the propagation of wave is in the z direction. Next we will see in detail about transverse electric, that is TE mode in a rectangular waveguide. These modes are characterized by Ez is equal to 0, that is electric field intensity in z direction is equal to 0, and Hz exists, that is magnetic field intensity in z direction exists in order to have energy transmission in the guide. The field equations of transverse electric modes are Ex is equal to E naught x cos m pi x by a sin n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta g into z. Here beta g is the propagation or phase constant. Next equation Ey, that is electric field intensity in y direction, is equal to E naught y into sin of m pi x by a into cos of n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta g into z. Next Ez, that is electric field intensity in z direction, is equal to 0. Next Hx, that is magnetic field intensity in x direction is equal to HOX into sin m pi x by a into cos n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta g into z. Similarly, Hy, which is the magnetic field intensity in y direction, is equal to HOY into cos m pi x by a into sin n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta g into z. Next, magnetic field intensity in z direction, Hz is equal to H naught z into cos of m pi x by a into cos of n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta g into z. Here m is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. Similarly, n can also take values 0, 1, 2, etc. But m is equal to n is equal to 0 cannot take place. Both the fields will become 0. The cutoff wave number for TE-Mn mode is given by Kc is equal to square root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square, which is equal to omega c square root of mu into epsilon. Here omega c is the angular frequency and a and b are the dimensions of the rectangular waveguide in meters. Next, the cutoff frequency for TE mode is given by Fc is equal to 1 by 2 root of mu into epsilon square root of m square by a square plus n square by b square. This is equal to c by 2 square root of m square by a square plus n square by b square. Since 1 by root of mu into epsilon is equal to CD, that is the phase velocity in an unbounded dielectric, and CD will be equal to C for a hollow rectangular waveguide. The propagation of phase constant for TE mode is given by beta g is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon square root of 1 minus Fc by f the whole square. The phase velocity for TE mode is given by Vp is equal to omega by beta g, which is equal to CD by square root of 1 minus Fc by f the whole square. Here CD is the phase velocity in an unbounded dielectric, which is given by CD is equal to 1 by square root of mu into epsilon. For hollow waveguide, CD is equal to C, that is velocity of light. The group velocity for TE mode is given by Vg is equal to CD into square root of 1 minus Fc by f the whole square. The characteristic wave impedance for TE mode is given by Zg is equal to mu into omega by beta g, which is equal to eta by square root of 1 minus Fc by whole square. Here eta is intrinsic impedance in an unbounded dielectric, which is given by eta is equal to square root of mu by epsilon. Next, the guided wavelength for TE mode is given by lambda g is equal to lambda by square root of 1 minus Fc by f the whole square. Here lambda is the wavelength in an unbounded dielectric, which is given by lambda is equal to CD by f. CD is the phase velocity in an unbounded dielectric and f is the frequency. Next is the transverse magnetic mode, that is TM mode in rectangular waveguide. TM modes are characterized by Hz is equal to 0, that is the magnetic field intensity in the z direction is 0, and Ez exists, that is electric field intensity in z direction exists in order to have energy transmission in the guide. The field equations of TM mode are same as TE mode except the two Ez and Hz. Ez is equal to E naught z into sine of m phi x by a into cos n pi y by b into e to the power minus j into beta j into z, and Hz is equal to 0, that is the magnetic field intensity in z direction is 0. The characteristic wave impedance for TM mode is given by Zg is equal to beta g by epsilon into omega, which is equal to eta into square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. Here eta is the intrinsic impedance, Fc is the cutoff frequency. All other parameters are same as TE mode. Next, when two or more modes have the same cutoff frequency, then they are said to be degenerate. In rectangular waveguide, the modes TEMN and TMMN are always degenerate. Generally, if you see, the rectangular waveguides have dimensions of A is equal to 2B ratio. That is, the one dimension is twice the other dimension. Next is the dominant mode. The mode with the lowest cutoff frequency is called the dominant mode. For transverse electric, that is TEMN, the dominant mode is TE10. For transverse magnetic, that is TMMN, the dominant mode is TM11. Next is the power transmission in rectangular waveguides. The average power transmitted through a rectangular waveguide is given as P average is equal to 1 by 2 into Zg integral of 0 to B integral of 0 to A into Ex square plus Ey square dx into dy. Here Zg, that is the characteristic wave impedance, varies depending upon the mode, whether it is transverse electric or transverse magnetic mode. Next, let us see the previous year's questions. First question, it is of match the following type. This question was asked in June 2014. First one, ferrite devices. Ferrite devices are nothing but circulators. And next is dominant mode. We see dominant mode in waveguide. Next is the reflection coefficient. We know that the reflection coefficient should be less than 1. And next is the voltage standing wave. Second question, this question was also asked in December 2014 and it is assertion and reason type. The system of propagation in waveguide is in accordance with field theory. Next, the reason, the system of propagation in transmission line is in accordance with circuit theory. Here we know that both the assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Next question, this question was also assertion and reason type. This question was asked in June 2015. First, the assertion, the waveguides have heavy attenuation for wavelengths below cutoff. Next, the reason, the waveguides behave like a high pass filter. Here the reason is correct because we know that the waveguides behave as a high pass filter and they attenuate wavelengths above the cutoff frequency. So assertion is false. Next question, this question was asked in December 2015. A wave is propagated in a parallel plane waveguide if the frequency is 6 GHz and the plane separation is 3 cm, then the cutoff wavelength for the dominant mode will be A 3 cm, B 6 cm, and D 9 cm. We know the cutoff frequency for dominant mode. Fc is equal to C by 2 square root of m square by a square plus n square by b square. Cutoff wavelength lambda c is equal to C by Fc. Substituting m is equal to 1 and n is equal to 0, we have lambda c is equal to 2a by m. Lambda c is equal to 2 into a is nothing but plane separation 3 cm divided by m is equal to 1. We have lambda c is equal to 6 cm. That is, the cutoff wavelength is 6 cm. So option B is correct. Next question. This question was also asked in December 2015. It is assertion and reason type. Assertion. A waveguide directional coupler is a 4-port waveguide junction device that samples part of the electromagnetic wave power to the main waveguide. Reason. The directional couplers are described by coupling factor, directivity and voltage standing wave ratio. We know that here both the assertion and reason are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Next question. This question was also asked in December 2015. In dominant mode in a rectangular waveguide, the following statements are given. First, there is no attenuation. Second, there is no TEM mode propagation, that is transverse electric magnetic mode. Next one, there is no magnetic field component. The dominant mode show the highest cutoff wavelength. Out of the statements, which are correct? Option A 1 and 2, option B 2 and 4, option C 2 and 3, option D 1 and 4. We know that in rectangular waveguide there is no TEM mode propagation, and also dominant mode is the mode which has the lowest cutoff wavelength or frequency. Hence, option B is correct, that is 2 and 4. Next question. This question was asked in July 2016. If lambda is the wavelength, that is lambda is equal to Vp by F. Here Vp is nothing but the phase velocity in an unbounded dielectric, where wavelength lambda g is in the rectangular waveguide for TEMN mode is given by option A lambda by square root of 1 plus Fc by F the whole square. Option B lambda by square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. Option C lambda by square root of Fc minus Fc by F the whole square. Option D lambda by square root of Fc plus Fc by F the whole square. We know that the guided wavelength lambda g is given by lambda divided by square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. So option B is correct. Next question. This question was asked in July 2018. The cutoff frequency for a TEM wave is option A 0, option B 11.0 GHz, option C infinity, option D moderate. The cutoff frequency for a transverse electromagnetic wave is 0. So option is correct. Next question. This question was asked in June 2019. For TE10 mode of propagation in a rectangular waveguide filled with air, the broader dimension is 2 cm. The cutoff frequency is option A 7.5 GHz, option B 7.5 MHz, option C 750 GHz, option D 0.75 GHz. Solution. We know the cutoff frequency for TMN mode is Fc is equal to C by 2 into square root of m square by a square plus n square by b square. Substituting m is equal to 1 and n is equal to 0, we have the cutoff frequency Fc is equal to C by 2a, which is nothing but 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 2 into the broader dimension is 2 cm. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 2. Since we have to enter the dimension in meter, I am multiplying here by 10 into 10. 2 into 10 to the power minus 2. So simplifying, we have Fc is equal to 7.5 GHz. That is the cutoff frequency for dominant mode. TE10 mode is 7.5 GHz. So answer option A is correct. Next question. This question was asked in December 2019. Read the following statements. First statement. Wave impedance of TM wave in that direction is ZZ TM is equal to eta into square root of 1 minus c square by omega square. Second statement. Wave impedance for transverse electric wave TE wave in Z direction is ZZ TE is equal to eta by square root of 1 minus omega c by omega whole square. Third one, wave impedance of TEM wave in Z direction is ZZ TEM is equal to 1 by eta. The characteristic impedance for Z0 is defined for short line. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A 1 and 4, option B 1 is correct but 2 is wrong, option C 3 and 4 are correct, option D 1 and 2 are correct. We know that for transverse magnetic wave, the wave impedance in Z direction is ZZTM is equal to eta into square root of 1 minus omega c by omega whole square. Here omega c is the angular frequency, which is equal to 2 pi fc, and the wave impedance for transverse electric wave in z direction, Zz, is equal to eta divided by square root of 1 minus omega c by omega the whole square. So 1 and 2 are correct. Hence option D is correct. Next question. This question was asked in November 2020. An air-filled rectangular waveguide of dimension 7 into 3.5 cm square operates in the dominant TE10 mode. The value of phase velocity of the wave in the guide at a frequency of 3.5 GHz is given by A 3.78 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, B 6.78 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second, C 5.78 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, D 4.78 into 10 to the power 8 meter by second. Here answer A is correct. Let us see how we got this answer. First, to find the phase velocity, we have to find the cutoff frequency for TE10 mode, which is given by Fc is equal to C by 2A, which is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 2 into the dimension 7 into 10 to the power minus 2. We have to write the broader dimension as A. So Fc is equal to 2.14 GHz. So cutoff frequency is 2.14 GHz. The phase velocity of the wave in the guide is given by Vp is equal to Cd divided by square root of 1 minus Fc by F the whole square. We know that Cd is equal to C for hollow waveguide or air-filled waveguide. So Vp is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by square root of 1 minus Fc is equal to 2.14 divided by frequency they have given as 3.5 GHz. So substituting for that, we have Vp is equal to 3.79 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Hence the phase velocity of the wave in the guide is 3.79 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. That is option A is correct. Thanks for watching the video. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe our channel.